that anime thing, but for Ember 8-0, about on par.
Kuro Fission could be in some trouble here at top. The Vortex slowing him down.
Nice slow down there. LSA stops him a bit, but Solo, uphill miss. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, wouldn't have been a kill. He didn't have the damage. He actually lost the chilling touch.
And it looks like Kuro has a salve handy and a clarity.
JuNGz wants to come in and cancel these clarities.
Nice mana.
Get them both.
But Matama Man even committing in, gets the dagger, but JuNGz is doing a lot of damage.
Soon, 2 mana short.
Pasha rolls through. JuNGz cuts himself, tries to eat through a tree, a cheeky play, but he's going to get knocked in the noggin with a big fissure, and now they want Kuro again, and they're going to slowly wither him down. Do they have the chase? No, they don't, but it's enough to force him back and to start to chew through the rest of his regen. Continued aggression here from the top. Vega still inching out ahead little by little. Pasha had to come over to glare at him a bit, but he returns back into the lane, and he'll continue to farm up.
Yeah, I mean, he misses a CS or two, but Spectre, he's missed many a CS. Sitting on 4 last hits right now. Matama Man, known for playing these aggressive fighting carries. I'm surprised to see him on Lycan and then Spectre in these 2 games. I mean, sometimes you do have to play heroes outside your comfort zone,
yeah,
but
it depends on whoever's making those kind of calls to put him on these heroes. Mid lane, they're trading blows here. Fata committing with the spirit. It's going to be forced back, and it's enough to force out the TP from Kuro. This could be all due to those little implications of the early game and the nerf that was done to the Storm Spirit. Mag back at bottom has his soul ring now done, is at level 4 here, and this is when things become more uncomfortable for the Tusk. He got that first blood, which was nice, but Broodling is starting to become a real brood mama.
Yeah, because of the first blood, it allowed him to buy Arcane Boots so he can at least spam the lane with Ice Shards to deal with the Spider Army somewhat, but he hasn't got good sustain for the lane, isn't able to regen up any harass coming his way, so we'll still be Brood with an advantage, but at least Tusk with the means to prevent an early tier 1 tower going down, and to also get some okay farm with the Ice Shard spam.
Now for Pasha here on his core Centaur Warrunner is very similar to his build-up that we saw from like the Slardar, putting more into getting the mobility first, the Blink Dagger, or does he tank up and then decide to go into it?
I see no reason not to just rush a Blink Dagger. It's pretty much, even when the Centaur's played as a safe lane farmer, it's always the Blink Rush.
Oh, Seema creeping in here. No vision on the side for Dire. Will lead to a fissure connection. Not enough to block off, but they will start to chomp him down. An early cold embrace will be coming out from JuNGz. We'll say Matama Man here, and it might be enough to counterplay onto Pasha. But while that happens, Seema's happy to commit in and takes out the Spectre, making it very nice here for Vega. Rotation from Fata with the haste rune. He's chasing. He wants solo. He's going to bump him once. The overload, and he goes right into the stun. Oh, a double edge comes out from Pasha, and they're going to get the huge kill on the Fata. Solo grabs that one, a double kill for him. They still can't get the Centaur. A triple remnant comes out from no one. He's back in action now from the mid lane. Kuro gets a brief save from the cold embrace, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down. This is a disastrous start right now for the 5JuNGz. Matama Man is back, and he'll get off the dagger onto Pasha, but Pasha still alive and well. The big meaty Centaur lives on.
What a lane. And Pasha's just like, I got Tranquil Boots, I'm not going anywhere. 14 regen a second with Tranquils and the Mango. This offlane has been a huge success for Vega Squadron.
Almost every lane now is a success for Vega Squadron.
Well,
they have kept Spectre in check. Yeah, that Fata rotation turns into a disaster. He loses his own life. He doesn't get the kill on the solo, and then no one rotates in, and he helps out in getting a kill. It's just looking like Vega got a commanding early game, and well, we'll have to see what the pullback is going to be here for the 5JuNGz.
It's going to have to be Tusk rotating around to kind of fix some of these problems on the map, which will give... To me, it's like either your Tusk rotates off the lane, you have to give up the Brood getting a tier 1 tower for it, but it's worth it if you can find enough kills and like trades elsewhere on the map. The only other option is to bring heroes bottom lane and look for kills using the Tusk onto the Brood. So you either, it looks like they will do that. They'll take option B, which is bring heroes bottom, Fata swings down here with an Invis rune, and with Dust on Mind Control, they can kill Brood. This has to work though. They're committing 2 heroes just to deal with the Brood, while Matama Man doesn't farm and Ember farms mid.
This is where we're going to see, if Fata is trying to get involved with an early kill, this is where we could see those possible 6.85 changes come into play, right when he's at level 6.
Yeah. Like, Mag knows the storm's been missing and has no vision in the bottom river, so is unable to scout rotations easily. He's now going to send his... He scouts that the small camp has been killed off. And he scouts like the storm was just here. He sees 2 of his camps missing, and he's like, why are these camps dead? Yeah. The only explanation is the hero was there killing him off, and it wasn't the Tusk. So he's going to know that the storm was there. We'll now know the storm's back mid, though, as Fata has shown himself. But kind of confirms his earlier hunch that he was being ganked in.
But look at the just difference already, because Fata in the incident on the top lane and having to go visit the bottom there in hopes of maybe something being set up while no one continues to farm. He's now level 8, nearly level 8.5. Fata just gets to his level 7. So you can start to see the bit of urgency here. But Vega now, priming on bottom lane. They're looking to go for mind control. Mind control to go down, gets a snowball off, but this is just delaying the inevitable. The last hit is going to be coming in from no one, and ownage coming out from your announcer, just letting everyone know that Vega are looking dominant here at the start of Game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Tusk with a bunch of CS, but so many of that little spiderlings and not really converting into objectives or even kills beyond the first blood. He's not really found the kills or contributions for his team. Top lane, Pasha is exposed here.
He's got Stampede. Oh, he's running. He's going to be able to make it away.
I think that's what he knew. It's like, if they 3-man gank me, I've got no protection. His supports both rotated bottom. Ember rotated bottom. So he's like, if they gank me, I'll just Stampede away and waste more of their time. Yep. It does put Stampede on cooldown, but it secures your team a bottom tier 1 tower by keeping the supports top, and it's just keeps yourself alive. So that's a good use of Stampede there, knowing that that gank is likely to come in. Because if you're 5JuNGz, you see 4 heroes pushing top, and you know they just TP down there, the obvious counterplay is to go for that Centaur kill. And right afterwards, the response now up top, Mag TP's up here. It's an interesting little move for him. I think he decides that bottom lane is been worked on enough already.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question to see if Mag was to stay in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, there is going to be a kill bottom lane. Mind control comes back, and we'll get the solo pick onto Seema the Slayer, the Earthshaker, who is just trying to level up on his own and get to his level 6. Will get punished. But if Mag was going to hang down bottom and just continue to do the Broodmother thing, pushing up towards the tier 2, and looks like it's not going to be that. He'll head towards the top lane. Pasha scouted out. Cliffstomp will come out, but he is a blink dagger and no way to get out from this corner. He gets uppercutted. The Haunt's going to be coming out. That will allow the Tummelman to participate, and now is snowball over as Mind Control will look to get away, and that's not happening. No one's going to pick up that kill with the burn of the Flame Guard, and it turns into a 1-1 trade. It may be the core Centaur, but this Ember Spirit's going to be getting the kill.
It's the first kind of signs of slightly sloppy play from Vega. The decision to move Brood top wasn't so much for the Brood's convenience, but for the Centaur's convenience to farm up his Blink, because he was getting to the point where he couldn't farm in the offlane, and they really need his Blink for the mid game. So he TP's bottom, is already half HP because of the harass coming out from the supports, and then just feeds himself into a corner for the Tusk. So while they get the revenge kill, it does feel like that's kind of the Tusk's job right now. If he can get a kill like that on a key hero like Centaur to slow down the Blink, it's overall worth it to trade his life for.
JerAx is coming with a sentry. We'll plant it. Would see Mag if he heads over to the left. We'll see him now, and Mag's now out of vision. But there could be a follow-up sentry. JerAx looks to cut him off. Doesn't have level 6, though, so he has no lock down the spider. And now comes the Stampede as they snowball in. They counter with their own initiation. They are going to be taking out Mag, and Pasha might have to turn and run. Here comes the first Ice Blast, though. Nice connection on the Kuro, which will lead to his demise. Makes it a 2-for-1 trade. Now Vega still on pursuit here. They're looking to go for Mind Control, who has the shards now. Can he get off a crucial block here to make it away? Oh, he's going to get chained down. Will be forced to snowball back to a little lingering creep. Puts him on the other side here, Gods, and he looks to retreat. Gets off a beautiful shard block, but Seema is there. Connects with a fissure stun. Broodlings now come in, and no one is going to be on the chase. Has a sleight of fist. No chains, though. Here comes JerAx. Big Splinter Blast, and Mind Control makes it out to safety. JerAx, though, could lose his own life, but Kuro's here now, and oh, well, there's a big fissure connection. JerAx will be going down. It's the better target for 5JuNGz over Mind Control, but they still continue to not get the better end of these trades. 10-4 now advantage for Vega.
And Fata just trying to make use of some of this space to press out the bottom lane, try and get a tier 1 tower. He knows a lot of heroes committed up top, TP's included, which will lead to, I don't know if anyone's really got the ability to defend bottom lane. Earthshaker probably in the best shape, level 6 with the TP scroll, but Fata may just find himself getting this bottom tier 1 tower, which would be a big boost to his early game goal, which right now, 5JuNGz just need whatever they can find.
Blink Dagger now picked up, though, on
That's
Mr.
the danger item.
And Shadow Blade.
Farmed out of his mind.
Oh.
Level 11 as well. I guess the level 2 ulti not a huge upgrade. Tusk, the Walrus Punch, the damage doesn't scale at all. It's all about the slow and the cooldown. But he's gonna pack a punch now with the Shadow
Blade. The first blink onto Jerix leads to a follow-up kill. Ice Blast. Oh, look at that. Was going for Jerix, but also going to be able to scout a Matama Man behind him. And lands for a free hit. No follow-up will be there, but here's the Shadow Blade from Mind Control here. Looking to go for a target. Snowball is going to be in. That was the loudest snowball in my life. They are going to get the uppercut off. Mag is caught in the corner here, but so is Mind Control. Turn around, Echo the Fly, and, well, look at that. Vega still able to get a lot.
Can Mag get away?
Mag trying to make it away. Matama Man is not going to be able to commit. Here comes Sleight of Fist Chains. They're going to get the Cold Embrace off Jerix. Huge Blitzer Blast. He's trying to fly away, but he will get knocked down from the fissure. Mag with the double. Oh, back with the vengeance. Vega fought to show up, committing in with the long jump.
And so late.
Yeah, it's a bit too late. He is going to be able to storm on through, get still connected from the Ice Blast, but it's Mag grabbing another one as Kuro's going to be taken down. A triple kill for your Brood Mama,
who has Orchid and Boots coming out on Courier just from that one team fight. That was a 4-for-0, a 2,500 gold swing at just 13 minutes in, and it's a T2 tower, so it's not even just the gold swing from the fight itself. It's the map control that Vega are going to get, it's the money they're going to get from this tower. Their item progression just skyrocketed.
No one's going to get the last hit. Tier 2 will go down. And Mind Control, who is back on the prowl here, starting to feel, I don't want to put a strong word as desperate, but 5JuNGz are going to need to try to take back some control in this mid game because it's getting out of hand.
The Shadow Blade Walrus Punch found the Courier. That's about it as far as 5JuNGz and getting objectives right now, or getting, not even objectives, getting cash into their pockets.
Took that Quelling Blade and Stout Shield out of the game.
Still Vega with such a strong lineup now. They're just going to group up, go for mid next. Brutus nearby doesn't spot out the Shadow Bladed Tusk. Mag is actually just fighting with his team now that he's got this Orchid too.
Vega, who are very comfortable taking any sort of team fight here, looks like they'll get the free tier 1 and continue pushing in. 5JuNGz, their backs starting to go against that wall here, yet to break any tier 1 for them. And for a lineup that's committing in for a tremendous late game on the back of a Spectre, this is the position you don't want to have to be in, where the push keeps coming. Vega understand they don't want this to have to go too late, and if they can keep 5JuNGz corralled to their side, the farm options become more and more limited, and there's only so many people who are going to be able to get out there to comfortably farm, and you have to delegate a lot of it, I imagine, onto the Spectre.
Yeah. And Spectre at this point, I don't feel like you can try and make that big jump to Radiance. We see Matamba Man with a Gauntlet. He's probably going for an Urn or a Drums for himself. He just needs some stats and HP. He's going to need to farm and catch up through not so much team fighting, but through finding pickoffs with his team. He can't just purely try and AFK farm his way back into this game. He's going to have to use that Haunt and combo with the Storm for Lightning pickup potential and find some kills there.
But Vega have just taken up residence inside the 5JuNGz jungle here.
It's looking rough. I mean, I guess that's where you take the Radiant jungle, which is kind of what Kuro does with a couple wards, and does set this up at least from a Tumba Man to farm.
Mag has been spotted here from Mind Control with the help of that sentry in lane. He's going to get the uppercut. He's going to get the kill. The follow-up Dust. That's a nice solo pick here for the Tusk to go out and get it. Bottom lane, though, they're looking to go for Matama Man. There's a Stampede from Pasha. He's going to lead in with a double edge. Now comes no one with the extra bit of lockdown, connects with the chains, and here comes an Ice Blast. Matama Man actually able to slip from it. Glitches through the trees, and right when he's about to TP away, Pasha comes in, chops off his head, and he will go down. 16-5 Vega. Still in a tight hold, as they have about a 7,500 net worth lead, though the XP about even here.
Yep. Poor Matama Man probably thought he'd survived. He's like, oh, I missed the Ice Blast. I'm in the clear. I'm going to get this TP out. Could have ran deep in the trees with that dagger, but he just wanted to TP as soon as possible, knowing that Centaur did have another blink coming soon.
It feels like they're just also trying to make sure Fata can get a lot of farm. If he's not going to be able to easily achieve a mid game like you could in the previous patch. You need to have the items to substitute the mana that just gets eaten up so fast.
He's not been fighting at all.
He just needs the time to get a bloodstone.
He's made 2 early game attempted rotations. First, the one top with the haste rune where he picked up his 1 death, and then second towards bottom with the invis rune to try and gank the brood, and both, one failing horribly when he died, the second just wasting his time. That's something you can't really afford to have happen as a Storm Spirit anymore, especially with the recent nerfs to this hero. It's just a lot less forgiving as far as your transition into the mid game if you don't find those pickoffs. If you just spent your time farming from the get-go and stacking your jungle, it'd be already with the bloodstone and some money on top, but the failed rotations have hit him hard.
Here comes Vega. There's smoke. They have Mag out in front.
He's baiting.
Trying to bait him. 5JuNGz could eat this bait. Oh, Curl comes in trying to slave out the wave, and he will just get instantly decimated there. Jarek's looking to go for a Valiant TP. That's not happening, and Solo is now dominating on his AA. They quickly clean out 2.
That's, you know, the crazy. It's 5JuNGz setting a trap there. Like, okay, we're going to hide Fata in the trees, drop a sentry, kill the brood. And Vega, like, no, we're actually the ones who are going on you. This is our trap. And Storm, as soon as his teammates get jumped on, Storm just like ball TP out of there. He's like, he knew it was a bad fight the second Ember and Centaur showed up. They were hoping for only a brood. As soon as it's more than one hero, they can't fight.
Mind Control will sweep on through, and they'll put their attention towards the bottom lane here, but Vega are quick to just make sure they can keep the pressure inside the 5JuNGz base, and if they're not going to be pushing the high ground, they want to at least force rotations from them back to defend. That way they're just not farming, and there's no way they would be able to play catch-up here to what Vega have already accomplished so far. And we look to Ember. It looks like he's very close to finishing out that first Battle Fury. Pasha, after completing out the Blink Dagger, he's going to go for a Force, so doubling up the mobility here. Just seems like Vega are wanting to keep firing on all cylinders while they still have this momentum. Jarek's, who's just going to have to get out there, creep in, place out a Valiant Ward, in hopes that 5JuNGz can just use this vision to assess the situation better, whether it's going to be a fight that they feel they can come out with
Fata's
or not.
creep skipping mid. He just, this is desperation mode.
Looks like he'll send his way back. And the tier 2 will go down, so that will leave just one more outer tower here for 5JuNGz at not even 20 minutes in.
And Vega haven't even considered Roche yet. They don't need the Aegis by any means. They're far enough ahead that they're not worried about a team fight going poorly because they're against a farming Spectre and Storm Spirit, so they don't. It's not like they need it to take these outer towers. When they want to go high ground, Roshan becomes more of a priority for them, which is probably going to start becoming the case in the next couple of minutes. They're about to finish the Ember Spirit's Battle Fury. They're about to pick up they've just got the full stuff on Centaur, so they've got their next level of items. So now's the time where they'll get that last T2 tower, or potentially even just go straight for the Roshan, because they are ready to threaten the high ground should they find a pick-off.
Vega are just so, like, ready to come together and take fights. The solo build-up here, going with a mech, it's a bit unusual for an AA. You know, typically AA is, you know, hanging in the back far away so he can get the most out of an Ice Blast. Not close enough to his team to even be useful with the mech, but it just kind of, I guess, gives you an idea of where Vega's priorities are.
The spell to point out here is Max Ice Vortex does a lot in a fight. Now Fata
committing in, already down on a lot of mana here as he tries to finish off Solo. Winter's Curse will come in for Pasha here, but they just don't have the firepower to finish anyone off. Now it's Fata on the run, and he is starved for mana, quick to bottle up, and they do not want to follow through with it. But this is what started as 5JuNGz trying to go for a pick and not getting it.
Oh, another Courier in jeopardy here. Mind Control doesn't quite find it.
Is able to kind of make its journey out, but will he get it on the way back? Doesn't look like it. He'll continue to hide, and Vega at mid lane. Mag moving in from a Tamaman here. Actually going to have to go right into a TP, and you'll see that he narrowly escaped an incoming fissure.
He meant blink too. Maybe it was just on cooldown and came back up, but I clicked him after the fissure and it looked like he had blink, but not the end of the world.
Fata now in top lane.
Mind Control at bottom's being caught.
Top lane though, they have a full Echo Slam, stun follow-up. The Storm is dead, and your 8-charge Bloodstone quickly goes down to 5. They're also looking for Mind Control here. Ice Blast on through. Not going to catch him as he just Shadow Blades down below, but it's in a bit of a predictable spot. That means no one's going to get in there, and he's going to catch out Mind Control. ownage. Vega now 20-5.
What was the actual last kill that went as a way of
We can look at the graph and have an answer for you. Well, it looks like it happened back in about 15 minutes.
That was a tower.
Oh, that was a tower. Oh, goodness. Uh-oh. Back into the action here. Matama Man caught out a bit in the front door, and he will be punished. This could be a pretty swift game 3 here, gods.
It looks like their last kill was around 10 minutes. That's the sad state right now for
You're right.
For
Mind Control
5JuNGz.
taking out Mag.
They're not getting anything done. They've got too many heroes who are all trying to farm. You've got Storm Spirit, who's always off on his own, creep skipping, and the Storm can do it. Like this like that fits the Storm as a hero in his playstyle. If he plays it smart, he's not getting caught off. The problem is the Spectre's not a hero who can do the same thing. The Spectre needs a jungle, needs a lane to farm, and having the Spectre with the Storm both in catch-up mode doesn't work. Not to mention Mind Control, he's doing what he can to create space with the Shadow Blade, but he's got no one to really partner up with him. When he goes Shadow Blading in, he's always on his own. Kuro can't just go running through like enemy creep waves or through the river to try and follow up the Shadow Blade initiation. It's very much Mind Control, just Shadow Blading around. Not even really looking for kills, more just looking for scouting information, it feels like lately.
Fought a bottom lane, though. In a bit of trouble here. No one is able to catch him with the chains, but the Winter's Curse may have just kept him alive as Seema will not be able to help engage here. Fata TP's away.
We're seeing defensive Winter's Curses being used. That's
when you know things are not going too well for you. Those are crucial defensive high ground components here. And every time if they breach out from the base and try to get farming, they're going to be forced to use these. There's going to be one time when Vega will decide to just quickly push in after a pickoff, and you will not have that defensive tool.
The main thing for 5JuNGz, like the few positives is that their farming efficiency has been up there for like the Storm Spirit at least himself. For Vega, they've been going around going for these kills, so we're not looking at a huge farm lead. Storm is only a little bit behind the Ember and the Brood. Spectre, though, is suffering. Like, there's no farming efficiency for Spectre whatsoever this game. But as far as the Storm goes, he's keeping up, and Vega aren't completely snowballing on carries.
Ooh.
But they're snowballing through kills, not through farm.
Any chance someone from 5JuNGz just creeps out from that front door, Vega are quick to strike. Now a haunt to break out here as they're trying to get the catch onto Mag. Mag up in arms with Mind Control here. His help is now on the way. Oh, Matama Man tried to TP out, but the fissure came, and now Matama Man will go.
And they've got a gem too if they can hunt down Mind Control. He is pretty fast in the Shadow Blade, so should escape.
Trying to draw them away from the base, but Vega don't want to have to go. Oh, Fata. Oh, fissure. Follow up from Seema. Going to get the echo, and look at the TPs coming in. Fata, though, does have the mana to quickly jump in TP, but Vega are just not making it easy for 5JuNGz to go out anywhere to get anything done.
Yeah, it didn't quite get the right jump there with the necessary follow-up damage to the stuns.
This is hard times right now for 5JuNGz. I mean, I'm sure they're considering what plan B or even C is at this point. Mind Control is going to get scouted from a sentry ward. Quickly silenced up, quickly surrounded, and quickly dead. All right. Well, Mind Control can't feel comfortable doing that kind of play anymore. For the last 5 minutes or so, he had, continuously shadow-bladed himself into the woods to help extinguish this problem of a fighter, but last time he didn't get away with getting caught out, though he was spotted from a rogue Radiant Sentry. This time, he will get spotted, and he will be punished for it.
It just feels like Vega, like little kids at an arcade playing whack-a-mole. Anytime a hero pops up, whack. Another one popped up, whack. It's just kill after kill, and there's no fight in this 5JuNGz side right now. This is the flattest I've seen them look in any of their games in Nanyang or other tournaments as well. Like when they played the Alienware Summer Zen Cup, they were playing explosive Dota. They were playing fairly aggressive. Like normally it was kind of controlled aggression, but there is no aggression. It's just purely just it almost feels like they're just waiting to lose this game or just hoping that somehow their ultra high ground defense is going to turn this around. And to be fair to them, they have got a Spectre, so it's very much like once you hit that Radiance timing, your team fight suddenly gets a lot better out of that Radiance, but it just doesn't feel like the Spectre is still going to be so poor even with the Radiance, and you can't farm with the Radiance by yourself in lane because there's so much kill potential coming out of any number of these Vega heroes.
Pasha going to eat the Walrus Punch and a full Winter's Curse.
Oh, Spectre got the kill too. That's really important.
It's nice. No one goes in now, but didn't engage before. Oh, Mind Control able to slip away with the TP. This time Vega, one of the few times that they've actually been a little late to respond.
Yep.
they still looks like they'll be able to grab JerAx here as at least an exchange.
All right, Relic online. Matoma Man was on 3k, gets 800 gold out of that kill, and that's how you want to use the Haunt, just to rock up and try and KS. So he gets Relic now, and I mean, there's still a very small glimmer of hope for 5JuNGz. By no means is this game over. Storm Spirit, so frustrating to try push high ground against because he can always creep skip, he can just ball in, take out your creep wave while TPing, and there's nothing you can do against it.
Ooh, Blink and Echo committed here to get mind control, and it pays off. He's going to be out now a minute. On the sidelines, Vega will be able to cut up this tier 2. They can step back and Roche, or they can push on forward here.
Looks undecided so far. I think they will eventually go for Roche. This will be their first Roche of the game, which is normally, like, you look at the state of this game and how much Vega's been ahead from start to finish, you'd be surprised to see such a late Roshan, but
they have good damage, but not the best Roche lineup. Yeah. This will take a bit of sweat here, but
Medallion, just the Brood who really packs a punch.
I mean, 5JuNGz could potentially have a say. I mean, it's a Storm Spirit after all, and a Winter's Curse potentially.
They're actually doing this pretty fast.
But yeah, it looks like it will be going down before 5JuNGz can even think about
an item you asked about. We will be seeing a Centaur Axe build up.
Nice. Now, what kind of cheeky tactics could we see with this? If they just didn't have to care about the tier 3 tower, they could always just rush up through the side of the wall and catch 5JuNGz off guard. Would it be worth it?
I think it's really cool how you can have the terrain pathing, but much more for the damage reduction still. This game, like for high ground defense, being able to run up the cliff maybe will have some applications, but the damage reduction is the big thing. When that Spectre uses Haunt, that Radiance illusion damage flying everywhere, you just pop the Stampede and negate so much of it. Because that's when 5JuNGz will be looking to find kills, is during the Haunt. So I think as soon as that Haunt comes out, you're popping Stampede purely for damage reduction and the added benefit of the cliff pathing.
I like it. It's very clever and something we have not really had the opportunity to see here. No one. Oh, forced deep inside the base now. This Ember, in a bit of trouble, is still able to remnant out. Pasha committing a huge Ice Blast leads to a double kill for the Ember, and now they're looking to go for JerAx. Vega do decide to kind of step back here and go back to square one, getting some damage on this tier 3. Not looking to overcommit. This Tusk is going to be out for 40 seconds here. No one on low life. Fata committing it from the fountain. Respectable damage on the Pasha here. Centaur could be going down. There's going to be the Haunt. Stomp to fall out here. Fata is up in arms here with Mag, but Mag gets caught up from a big Winter's Curse. It allows Fata to make an escape as Ember goes onto the chase. Changes course. Looking to go for JerAx here. And JerAx does cold embrace himself. Now looking to go into flight. Will get snipped right there. No one is going to be godlike now as he catches him with the Sleight of Fist. And Vega lose nobody. Ice Blast in. Fata will roll through it, and he goes right into an Orchid, and it will be his kill. He goes down. He is out 45 seconds. No buyback. Laguna from Kuro will secure the kill onto Mag, but no one again picks up another. Now beyond godlike as he finishes off Kuro. And Vega are about to move on now 2-1 in this best of 5 here, unless 5JuNGz can hold this.
I don't see it happening. Spec spent that entire fight chasing a Centaur who was on like 50 HP, but he just couldn't catch up to because of the Blink and Fall stuff. And it's a lane of racks. It's a dieback from Lina. It's just overall disaster of a fight and a high ground hold coming out from 5JuNGz. They get nothing. The Brood kill amounts to very little. I think Lina even had the buyback penalty applied when she got the kill, so she didn't even get the full amount of money. And even if she didn't, it's still the buyback money being used in Lina, not really offering much to the team. So Storm with Orchid and Bloodstone has managed to at least pick up some farm. Like, this is the kind of farm you want to see on a Storm at this stage, or maybe slightly behind, but big picture wise, everyone else is just...
They tried to smoke move out, but Pasha happened to cross their path. Now they're going to look to go for the Centaur, but he is a big beefy target. Seems like they might have enough gunpowder, but Solo is able to pop off the Greaves, and he'll be fine. An easy Stampede, and he is out of there.
Yep. Be able to heal back up bit by bit, I imagine.
Will be a full minute, though, without a Stampede. But as they inch on forward, that minute will probably tick pretty fast here, and this could quickly be the final hurrah here for 5JuNGz.
Yeah. They're working on the pipe for Solo 2 as well now, so they want to have just all the early game aura items to push with and make the most out of.
And as they inch in here, 5JuNGz will smoke inside their base to try to stay in the dark with any sort of committed jump, which will happen there for Fata. Goes right into being silenced. He'll hand off his own silence onto Mag. Ice Blast actually connects onto Fata here. Not quite onto Kuro. So a bit of a swing and a miss from both sides. No one makes his return, and this is just that typical footsie play coming out from both sides.
And as long as Vega chipping away at this tier 3 tower, this is fine for them. Storm will delay that.
All right, forced into a stun here, and Kuro's out. 50 seconds, no buyback. They made that look easy. That was a force setup from Ninepash right into his own stomp. Beautifully played.
Yeah. Good execution, and they're back on the high ground. This time Brutal just even use the ultimate when possible to try and hit the tier 3 tower, it looks like. And Cliff forced out. Storm, it's now or never.
Oh, Seema the Slayer has drawn out the snowball here, and look at this. Mind Control's in big trouble. Wonderfully played from him. And Vega now, it's their time. They're looking to move in. Can they get a hold of JerAx here? JerAx is going to be going down.
No,
this could be the game. They're going to step back. They're going to be going for the racks. Mind Control is back, but he could be just as quick brought down again. He is already down to low, and this means the racks are to crumble here. They're trying to split push, it looks like. Spectre working at the top lane, still holding that haunt. But all the meanwhile, Seema the Slayer is going to get another kill. That's Mind Control. His dieback now as Vega rotate up. They're going to look for the tier 3 and top center racks here. Long jump from Fata leads into the haunt. No one going to get pulled back as the Orchid will help finish him off. Ember down, but look at this. Big Ice Blast to fly out. A Laguna, though, from Kuro will help get a big set of damage. Seema shows up, though. Big Echo Slam, follow-up fissure. That will help finish off as Matama Man is going to be dropped. Here comes no one. Back in again. Mag holding in the middle of the lane here. 5JuNGz just trying their best to hold it out as much as possible. Here comes Fata once again. Slide of his chain's going to be missing here. He gets the Vortex Bowl, but oh, they're not going to have enough yet. Winter's Curse will lock him in place. Fata continues to dance about a bit. No one will be brought down. 80 seconds. No buyback for him.
That's a dieback, but I don't think Vega really care at this stage. This game is all but in the bag. Mag's looking for that finishing blow. And Fata rejecting mana. Mag with a BKB will turn and fight. And Fata silenced, dead.
And Pasha's in now. They pop out the Stampede Ultimate. All that damage is going to be reduced, and they will get both of them down. Just when you think 5JuNGz were going to be able to hold and come out for once the better in the trade, Vega still show that they have a second act and clean them up.
Their base is just in tatters. There's no defending. There's a Roshan in the next couple of minutes if Vega want to go for it. And you can just see based on the items, Vega know they can win this game soon. Earthshaker went back for a Vlad's pickup. AA's now got a pipe. Items you don't conventionally see on these support heroes at least. Normally you'd expect Earthshaker to go more into like the Initiation or a Shivers or an Octarine Core as is kind of more luxury late game item. AA, you'd expect the Aghanim Scepter, but they're just saying, yeah, we can just end the game.
That's been the trend, though, for Vega. Unconventional, you know. And we've been seeing it, especially from the back end of their Nanyang run. You know, Mags changing it up with his Broodmother build against Moon Meander, the swap earlier into the mid lane for the Brood, and now with these build-ups on the supports, they're quick to adapt on the fly. Oh, Mind Control. Up in arms a bit. This team is going to be able to blink away here. But Vega just showing a lot of new tricks here, and it's definitely throwing a team like 5JuNGz off a bit.
Very resilient 5JuNGz, though. Once again, like we saw last game, them try to hold on versus Mega Creeps. They're going to play this one out and try and push Vega to the limit, although for Vega, it's very much, if they want to, they can just run through the motions here. They're ready to go for high ground. They're not worried about an Aegis. They've got a Skadi on Maggie, but he gets even tankier and harder to bring down with this, and this tier 3 tower has no glyph to protect it.
Long jump from Fata. This one not for a TP back. You'll just have to walk back the old way to get all that mana.
Does force out a BKB, and he doesn't even want to finish off the tower during BKB. Worried about a Winter's Curse locking him in place.
Tower will be denied. Nonetheless, that's still just the Rax is now being exposed. And Vega will just take this period to step back and farm up. Looks like Courier here to drop off.
It's a long Roche respawn. It's almost the max one, so they'll have to wait some time if that's what they're waiting for.
Haunt, though, to come out here from 5JuNGz.
Miscommunication. Storm was not engaging.
Yeah, and I almost thought at first it was just for some bit of intel, but they actually are going in, looking to get a hold on the mag here. But Posh able to easily jump in. They quickly take out both supports, Kuro and Jerix, to drop mind control now. Going to be the third target here, and there's nothing they can do about it. They quickly lose 3 here, Gods, and they are not going to be coming back for this high ground defense. That just might have been the game right there.
Spectre with no haunt. Storm has got a BKB now and will do all he can. Takes out the creep wave top, but there's a creep wave in mid. There's a creep wave in bottom.
Yeah.
That's not really doing a whole lot at this stage. That's what happens when you go down a lane. Like, once you're down that first lane, Storm can no longer rely on these tricks when there's multiple lanes pushing in.
Thoughts is in, but even the jump from the fountain leaves
out.
him with no mana, and now he's just a walking little electric man. He will go down, and that will be game. Vega now advance on forward 2-1 here in this best of 5 grand final, and they are on match point to take this.
Yeah. So 2 games in a row, Vega had first pick. Must have, like, the way the selection works, you can choose pick or side, and it's given Vega the Ember Spirit, which they really want from a Tumber ban. I think what happens if first pick goes away at 5JuNGz, Ember gets banned to prevent that. But to me, the big change looking at the draft, Brood ban coming in game 4. No way do you give Mag Brood for a 3rd game in a row. You just first stage ban it.
But then something else gets slipped through.
You give him something else. You don't give him Brood.
I feel like they might make the mistake then of something like a first ban Brood, but then they forget about Wisp, and then you can solo his Wisp. And
it's been that. Io and Quap, the 2 bans. I think you give him the Quap.
Oh yeah, because then we know what he can do on the Quap.
It's tough. I think you just have to give him one of those 2, because you've just been you haven't given an answer to the Broodmother 2 games in a row. So,
but then it goes back to, again, this is 5JuNGz, a team that most people found the favorites coming into this.
Yeah,
they're forced in a situation where they have to pander to Vega's drafting. They have to play to Vega. They don't get to play their own game. It almost feels like they have to counter now what Vega have in their pocket.
And it felt like the opposite coming in, because Vega were put in a position where they're banning out signature heroes like the Beastmaster. That's the thing. Beastmaster, most teams do not pick or ban or consider Beastmaster. And you know what Vega do? They say, it's a signature hero of Fantas that's winning games. Let's just first stage ban it. We'll give it that respect, even if it's not a top pick. And that's what I feel like 5JuNGz have to do to Mag's Brood at this stage. It's fine if you let it through once and you lose to it. Like, that's kind of that's going to happen. I feel like even this game, maybe they should have considered banning a Brood. But after 2 losses in a row, if they don't ban Brood, to me, that something is wrong.
Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. That is the conclusion for Game 3. It's going to be Vega now up 2-1 here, and match point for them going into Game 4. Will 5JuNGz be able to hold and take it to a Game 5 stretch, or will Vega secure the trip to Singapore to compete